Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable Mahasangha and dear friends, in this evening also, now we are going to learn a special discourse, very important sutta from middle-length discourses, Majjhima Nikaya. So, up to now, we have been discussing very important key factors of the teachings of the Buddha, especially about the, we discussed about the special factor. That factor should be cultivated in our lives with the help of the teachings of the Buddha. Can you remember about that factor? We discussed always, that means having heard the teachings of the Buddha, then there is a task to be done with the follower's life. What is that factor? Sorry? Yes. Through the confidence, first of all we discussed that the main factor, the fundamental factor is the confidence about the teacher. And having established on that confidence, then step by step we must try to understand that those teachings of the Buddha to apply to our own life. So there is a key factor to get the help to apply the teachings of the Buddha to our own life. What is that key factor? It's called, yes, having established on faith, then what is that factor to apply that teachings to our own life? That's the thing, wise consideration, yoniso manasikara. That means, when you listen to that Dhamma, then you have to take that Dhamma into your mind. Otherwise, you will not be able to investigate that Dhamma, isn't it? Yes. So, then actually this is a great opportunity to follow the Buddha's teachings and to escape from suffering and these endless cycle of birth and death. So basically, when we are learning these teachings of Buddha and listening to Dhamma and associating the noble friends, with these all things, there should be only one target. What is that target? To understand the Four Noble Truths. Why? It was the same target that Buddha has, that target, same target, having understood the Four Noble Truths. Yes, that show what is the path to others also to escape from samsara as a result of understanding Four Noble Truths. So then, First of all, we discuss basically there is an ordinary person, and with the help of the teachings of the Buddha, with the association of the noble friends, then he will gain the opportunity to listen to that Dhamma. Then, as a result of his own wise consideration, that ordinary person will convert as a noble disciple. That's the most important thing. So can you think that what the main factor which caused to that convert? Because of what? I mean about that his the changing of his life as a noble disciple, wise consideration. That is the factor. Can you understand? Yes. So, in the Buddha's teachings, Buddha explained this as the Dhamma Chakku. That means, now we have the biological eyes, no? Or physical eyes. Buddha explains, we can see a limited, field through this physical eyes. But there should be an important eye to understand the reality. That eye is called Dhamma Chakku, the eye of Dhamma. Can you understand? So, step by step, when we are learning that Dhamma, then we will be able to see or notice the world through that eye of Dhamma. Can you understand? The meaning of it is, now as an ordinary person, in our whole life there is a concept we discuss in detail about those things. That means Sakkaya Ditthi. That means the identity view. That means there is a permanent thing here and self here and something like that. No, it's a deluded view, as Buddha understood. So then the meaning of the seeing with that eye of Dhamma means without those deluded visions or without delusion, then one will be able to see the things as they actually are. What is the meaning of this? Yes, he can realize the things, the impermanent things as impermanent. That's the most important thing. Why the Buddha's main, in the teachings of the Buddha, the main purpose or there is a main theory, that means Yankinchi Samudaya Dhamma. That means if there are some conditioned things in the world, they were arisen because of results. Sabbantang Nirodha Dhammanti. They will be ceased with the cessation of those causes. The simple meaning of that theory is impermanent. Sorry?
Should we not refer to this Dhamma as the teaching instead of the word theory?
No, yes. So how to call that one?
Refer to it as the teaching.
Okay, teaching. That means in that teaching there is a special phenomena. That phenomena is called that Yankinchi samudaya dhamma sabbantang nirodha dhammanti. If there are some causes to be arising, some factors, then with the cessation of those causes, that effects will be ceased. So, as the stream entrant, the first stage of the developing wisdom as a stream entrant, the most important thing is try to understand the impermanent thing as impermanent. With this knowledge, then he can understand, okay, what the right view is and what the wrong view is. Because as a stream entrant, now that noble disciple has a fundamental knowledge about the cause and effect system, knowledge about the dependent origination. Then he has sufficient knowledge of what is the way of this arranging suffering and as a noble truth, and what is the way to escape from suffering with the help of the teachings of Buddha. So can you remember that I, Dhamma Chakku, I of Dhamma? That means now as a noble disciple, when he sees the world, or when he tries to take actions, or when he tries to take decisions, always first of all he thinks the way of the Dhamma. What is the most beneficial way, and what are the things to avoid, and what are the things to cultivate, to follow, what is the way, and what are the wholesome activities, what are the unwholesome activities. In this way, Buddha explained this is the right view, this is the result of right view. So today we can learn some important factors about this character of this noble disciple, and the difference between the difference of the what do you call the ways of leading his life, the difference between the ordinary person and the noble disciple. The name of this sutta or this discourse is called Mahamevnawa Samadhana Sutta, the long discourse about the ways of the things, the undertaking things, or the ways of practicing things. Mahamevnawa Samadhana. The greater discourse on ways of undertaking things, that means on ways of practicing things. In Majjhima Nikaya, 728 page, in the 46th discourse, I think. So now, at the beginning I mentioned that the key factor to the convert that as a noble disciple from his ordinary life, what is that key factor? That factor is wise consideration. So always this wise consideration is establishing in his life through the Dhamma. Can you understand? So here most important thing is the listening to Dhamma. If someone listens to Dhamma step by step, then it will help to develop his what? Wisdom or wise consideration. That's the most important thing. So otherwise, how do we know what is the thing to think about this one, and what is the correct thing in this case, and how should I face to this incident. So always Buddha explains this knowledge of this Dhamma as the store of weapons. Store of weapons. Why? Always the enemies, they are ready to fight with us. Who are the enemies? Yes, defilements, greed, hatred and delusion and ill will and jealousy and the desire to the sensual pleasures and the restlessness of mind and doubts. These are the enemies. So always they are ready to fight with us. So if we haven't the ability to face to those enemies, then we will fail from our life. So Buddha explains this knowledge of Dhamma as a store of weapons. Why? If we have good weapons, yes, that's the thing. We can fight with that enemies, and we can get an assurance to our life. Otherwise, actually, the ill will or the aversion, if there are those defilements in our mind, perhaps maybe that those defilements will accompany us to bad words. So very clearly Buddha mentioned these things. The difference between the ordinary life and the noble disciple's life, Buddha explains with the simile. Buddha asked a question. Now there are okay, let's suppose like this. If we take a lump of salt, okay, then we put it into a glass of water. What will happen to that glass of water? Yes, at once it will become salt and taste will be with salt. Then Buddha asked, what will happen that the same kind of that lump of salt, if we put into a river, what will happen? Yes, that's the thing. It's a normal thing to that river. Buddha explains, if someone is an ordinary person, if he does a very, very little evil thing or unwholesome thing, activity through his body and speech or mind, then it will be a cause to be reborn in the hell or in the animal world or in the ghost world. Why is it? Because he is in the possession of the ordinary life. But Buddha explains, if someone is trying to follow the Noble Eightfold Path with the developing the morality and concentration and wisdom, then he is a developed mind person. Always he is leading his life with a developed mind. And he has landmarks in his life. We discussed those things, can you remember? So, it's a great assurance to his life. So here in this sutta Buddha explains, in those periods Buddha was staying at Savatthi in Jetas Grove, Anathapindika's monastery. Then Buddha asked a question from monks. That the question was very important thing, that That Buddha explains that most of the beings in this world, especially the human beings, they have a desire like this, evam kama, evam chanda, evam adipaya. That means they have a desire or liking or a determination like this. What is that determination or desire? Ahota anitta akanta amanapa dhamma parihayu. The meaning of it, Buddha explains, if only unwished for and undesired and disagreeable things would diminish, and wished for, agreeable things, agreeable and likable and desirable things will increase. They have a desire like this in their life. Isn't there such a desire in our life? In your own life? There is a desire like that. What is that desire? If only unwished for and undesired, disagreeable things would diminish, and wished for, desired, agreeable things would increase. But Buddha explains, though they have such a desire, but Buddha explains, always unwished for, undesired and disagreeable things increase, and the wished for and desired and agreeable things diminish or vanish. Then Buddha asked, now monks, tatra tumye bhikkhave tang hetu pacchoti. That means, oh monks, now how do you think that, what the reason is for this case? Can you understand? So then Buddha asked, what do you think is the reason for this case? Though they are expecting the satisfaction through their life, but they can't get that satisfaction. So what is the reason for this thing? Did you think about this one? We also are trying, we are also struggling with this satisfaction and dissatisfaction, isn't it? Yes. We do not like to experience the dissatisfaction in our life, but though we think so, though we wish in this way, we can't get it so, isn't it? So Buddha explains here in this sutta the reason for all these matters. Then Buddha explains, can you remember, Buddha asked a question from monks, no? So monks, do you know the reason for this case? Then monks answered to Buddha, Bhagavan Mulakano Bhante Dhamma. That's very important. The nature of a follower. Bhagavan Mulakano Bhante Dhamma. That means, Bhante, our teachings are rooted in the Blessed One. Venerable Sir, you are our teacher and we are the followers. So if you Bhante, if you can explain this, we can remember it well. Okay, then Buddha explains, Tena idikkhave sunata. So then monks listen very carefully. Sadhukam manasikarvata. Investigate. Now can you remember? Use your wise consideration again and again on this matter with the help of the teachings. Then sadhukam manasikarvata. Remind this teaching and bhashisamati. So then, yes, I try to, and practice, and I try to teach you. Then Buddha explains this. all the incident here. First of all, Buddha uses a word called Putujjana. Have you heard that word? Putujjana. So what is the meaning here? Not the lay person. Yes, ordinary person. Now Buddha explains the nature of that, of the life of that ordinary person. Okay? Ariana Madasa. No. Now, do you know the danger of the ordinary person? These things we have discussed in detail. The ordinary of the ordinary person, ordinary life. Yes, and they are always there with the possibility to be reborn in a bad world. That's the reason. That's the danger with the ordinary life. So Buddha explains here, it's very important to know the nature of the ordinary life. Why? Then we can understand ourselves. Oh, who am I? And what should I do now? These things, isn't it? Yes. Buddha explains the nature of the life of the Putujjana or the ordinary person. Ariana Madasari. Yes, that means, doesn't see means, now let's suppose Devadatta, he could see Buddha, and noble ones, and he associates the Arahants. But he was he a noble disciple or an ordinary person? Yes, that's the thing. He was reborn in the hell. Here, the Ariana Madasa means that does not see means Putujjana or the ordinary beings, they haven't the vision of the noble ones. They haven't understood the noble ones through Dhamma. That's the meaning. Ariana Madasari. Arya Dhamma Sakovidu. They are not skilled in the teachings. That means they are not. Then in next quality Buddha explains that one. Arya Dhammi Avinito. Yes, they do not follow. Avinita means they do not follow the path of the Buddha. What is the path? Morality, concentration, wisdom. They do not follow morality. They do whatever they think. It doesn't matter. Sorry? Yes, Noble Eightfold Path. That's the path to follow, no? So, it doesn't matter that to the ordinary beings, it doesn't matter whatever it is harmful to others, it doesn't matter. He does that one. Why? He doesn't follow morality. In his life there isn't such a thing called morality, concentration, wisdom. And in this way Buddha explains Asutoto Putujjano, that means that ordinary beings. Then this is the reason to that case. Can you remember that case? Yes, always though they like to experience the agreeable things and likable things and wish for, but they can't get like this. Always the undesirable and unlikable and unagreeable things would increase. The reason for that ordinary being Sevitabbe Dhamme na janati. He doesn't know the things that should be cultivated. Asevitabbe Dhamme na janati. He doesn't know the things that should not be cultivated. Bhajitabbe Dhamme na janati. He doesn't know the things that should be followed. Abhajitabbe Dhamme na janati. He doesn't know the things that should not be followed. Buddha explains. So, because of this, so Sevitabbe Dhamme ajananto. That means not knowing the things that should be cultivated and not knowing the things that should not be cultivated. and not knowing the things that should be followed, and not knowing the things that should not be followed, what does he do? Aseritabbe dhammi sevati. The things which shouldn't be cultivated, he doesn't know about these things, no? So he cultivates those things. And Buddha explains, he cultivates things that should, he does not cultivate things that should not be cultivated. Can you understand? Sorry. So not knowing these things, what the things to be cultivated and to be followed, so he does not cultivate the things that should be cultivated. Can you understand? Then he follows the things that should not be followed. And he doesn't cultivate that the things should be cultivated. This is the thing Buddha explains. This is the thing. It is because he does this that unwished for and undesired and disagreeable things increase for him, and wished for and desired and agreeable and likable things diminish. Then he will be able to experience the happiness of pleasure in this life. Can you understand? Now there should be a question on your mind. In your mind there should be a question. Yes, that is the question. And how to identify the things? These should be cultivated and these things should not be cultivated, and how to identify? Yes, then the Buddha is our teacher. Then we are the followers. So Buddha teaches all these things to his disciples. That's why we are very, very lucky. Then Buddha, at the end of this explanation about the life of the, now whose life is this? Ordinary one. Buddha explains, nothing to do. This is the case with the ignorant person. So, there isn't a way to escape from this? Yes, suffering or this situation to the ordinary being. So let's suppose that if he is in this situation, that not knowing about the things to be cultivated and should not be cultivated, if he is in this position, then let's suppose he is going to worship and he to praise and he asks for any other from the outer world, external world, if he wishes the things. Oh, why, what is the reason? Where is the pleasure? If he asks the satisfaction from the external world, what will happen? Again he will fall into trouble. Why? The cause for the suffering is with him. He hasn't eradicated it. Can you understand? Yes. So then Buddha explains, Sutavachako bhikkhave arya savako. Then the other side. Always have you identified that in the teachings of the Buddha, always Buddha explains the dark side. Have you noticed that one? Yes. Then Buddha explains the bright side. Sutava arya savako, the noble disciple. With the knowledge of the teachings of the Buddha, Aryanandasavi. He has the vision of the noble one. Now can you remember that eye of Dhammachakku? This is the here vision. Then always he try to understand the things through that vision with the using of that Dhammachakku. Arya Dhammasa Kovidu, he is skilled in that teaching. He can understand, oh, this is right view, this is wrong view, and this is the way to follow, this is the way to avoid. And these are the things to be reborn in the bad world, and these are the things to be followed, to be reborn in the heavenly world, in this way. Can you understand? Arya Dhammi Suvinitu, the most important thing, he follows that teaching. He is a virtuous person, and he tries to control his defilements in his mind, and he tries to understand the things as they actually are. If he is a noble disciple, then Buddha explains, he knows. Seritabbe Dhammi Pajanati. He knows the things that should be cultivated. Aperitabbe Dhammi Janati. Not only the things to be cultivated, but also he knows the things should not be cultivated. And because of this, he cultivates or he follows the things that should be cultivated, and he avoids from the things that should not be cultivated. Buddha explains, because of this, for the noble disciple, then unwished for and undesired and disagreeable things diminish for him. For whom? For the noble disciple. Very interesting. Why? The Buddha's words are not simple words. Those words are the true words in this world, isn't it? So definitely, these are very important to our life. Buddha explains, so then desired and wished for and agreeable things increase. Why? Why is that, Buddha? Question, why is that? That is what happens to one who sees. That is what happens to one that he has the vision of the teaching, that he has the eye of Dhamma. Can you understand? It is a phenomenon again. Now this is the what you call the introduction of this case. Okay. Now is it clear to you? Okay. Then the most important part of this discourse, Buddha explains there are 4 kinds of ways the things undertaking. Can you understand? There are 4 ways of undertaking things. How many ways? 4 ways. The first one, there is a way of undertaking things, or there is a way of practicing things. Okay. Now we were discussing about the initial part of the discourse. Is it clear to you? That means about the ordinary life and the noble disciple's life, and because he knows the things should be cultivated and should not be cultivated, then the wished for and agreeable and desired things increase for his life. For whose life? Yeah. Sorry? To the noble disciple's life. Those things will increase, and the undesirable things and the disagreeable things and unwished for things would diminish. Okay? Then Buddha explains there are 4 ways of practicing or undertaking things. The first one is there is a way of undertaking things that is painful now. In the present, it is painful. That way of practicing is painful in the present, but ripens in the future as pain. In the present, that is painful, and in the future also, it ripens as pain. This is the first one. Can you understand? Okay, then Buddha explains these things, then very easily we can understand. Okay, this is not a difficult discourse. Then the second one, Buddha explains, there is a way of undertaking things that is pleasant now. The first one is painful, and the second one is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pain. Third one, there is a way of undertaking things that is painful now at the present and ripens in the future as pleasure. Pleasure. Third one. Okay? Last one, the fourth one. There is a way of undertaking things or practicing things that is pleasant now and also ripens in the future as pleasure. Can you understand? These are the four kinds of ways undertaking things, practicing things. Now, the most important thing, very interesting thing is, though there are number of beings or human beings in this world, definitely, each of those persons will follow this one of these ways. Can you understand? So then Buddha explains, but the ignorant person, you know ignorance? Ignorance means avidya. Avidya means he hasn't the knowledge about the Four Noble Truth, not knowing the Four Noble Truth. This is the meaning of ignorance. So this ignorant person, not knowing this way of undertaking things, the first category or the first way, he doesn't know about this first way. What is the first one? Painful now. Yes, in the future it ripens as pain. So he doesn't know about this way. So what does he do? Yes. So the ignorant person, he cultivates it and does not avoid it. Why? He doesn't know about it. But the result will come to his life. Yes. When it ripens, yes, he'll experience a lot of pain, suffering. This is the reason. Now Buddha proves. Okay? Buddha proves this is the reason because he does so. Unwished for and undesired and disagreeable things increase for him. And wished for, desired and agreeable things diminish. This is the reason. With the holding. Now let's now think about the very isn't it very clear? Very, very clear. Then Buddha explains, there is an ignorant person not knowing the way, the second way. What is the second way? The way of undertaking things. Yes, that is pleasant now. Yes, and ripens in the future as pain. He doesn't know about these things, and so not knowing about this way, so what does he do? He cultivates it and does not avoid it. This is the reason to that result. Can you understand? Yes. The unwished and disagreeable things will increase and the agreeable and wished for things would diminish. This is the reason. Then Buddha explains the ignorant person, he doesn't know, not knowing the things, the ways of undertaking things, that is third one. Painful now, yes, and you can remember very clear, Have you heard this discourse before? No. Okay. So, it's a very great opportunity. So, that is painful now and ripens in the future as pleasure. Then, he doesn't know, he doesn't understand this one, and he doesn't understand it as it actually is. So, what does he do? He doesn't cultivate that one. That thing should be cultivated, isn't it? Though it is painful now in the present, but it ripens in the future as pleasure. So, he doesn't cultivate it, but he avoids it. Buddha explains nothing to do. This is the thing. This is what happens to one who doesn't see the truth. Then the last one, Buddha explains there is an ignorant person not knowing the way of, what is the fourth one? Undertaking the things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pleasure. So he doesn't know this thing too. So he doesn't follow, he doesn't cultivate, but he avoids from it. Can you understand? So this is the, Buddha explains, this is the reason that in his life unwished and disagreeable things would increase, and the wished for and agreeable and desired things diminish. This is the reason. Then Buddha explains the bright side. But the noble disciple, he is not an ignorant person. He has the wisdom and he has the wise consideration and he has the vision to understand the things as they actually are. So, knowing this way of undertaking things that is painful now and ripens in the future as pain, so what does he do? He avoids from that way of undertaking things. Buddha explains, this is the reason. This is the reason, because he does so unwished for and undesired, disagreeable things diminish for him, and wished for and desired and agreeable things will increase. This is the reason. Then Buddha explains, knowing the way of undertaking things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pain. So what does he do? He avoids it. Why? Though it is pleasure now, he has the knowledge. He knows the way. He knows the way, and he doesn't take decisions only thinking to a limited time period or permanent time period, impermanent thinking, he doesn't think only about movement and pleasure. He thinks the long-term results, because he has that eye. So Buddha explains, so he avoids from that way of undertaking things, way of practicing things. This is the reason that his life will convert into as a happy life. Always he will deal with the society as a wise person. Buddha explains, satisfaction will come to his life. Then Buddha explains, he has the knowledge, and because of this knowledge, knowing the way of undertaking things that is painful now, but ripens in the future as pleasure. So he has that vision, the long-term results. Because of this knowledge, because he understands as it actually is, so he cultivates that one. And this is the reason to the happiness in his life. And Buddha explains, he has the knowledge and knowing the way of undertaking things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pleasure. So he is skilled on that way. He cultivates that way. Now, up to now, is it clear to you? Yeah, this way. And then Buddha explains the third part. So in this sutta, first part, second part, and third part. Buddha explains this way, and already we have learned first and the second part, and this is the third part. Buddha explains. Now there should be a question again, that same question. We haven't got the answers to that question, no? What are the ways? What are the ways to be cultivated or to be followed, no? Isn't it? So then Buddha explains what bhikkhus is the way of undertaking things that is painful now and ripens in the future as pain. This is very interesting. Buddha explains. There is a person in this case, so he doesn't know this way of undertaking things that is the painful now and ripens in the future as pain. Here someone in pain and in grief, without happiness, in pain and grief, pranatipati hoti. He kills beings. But with pain and grief. Can't you understand this one? Yes, there are such persons, no? They do not like to do that job, or they do not like to do that one. But in pain and grief, they kill beings. Think about the soldiers. They do not like to do, isn't it? They do not like. They regret about what it is. But they have to do according to the commands, isn't it? So Buddha explains, but the result. And then in pain and grief, he takes what is not given. He steals. Okay? Can you understand? He doesn't like, but nothing to do. Someone commands on him. So he does so. Yes, we can understand those things. Okay? We can understand those things. Now Buddha explains these things. Okay? Then he engaged in sexual misconduct in pain and grief. And in pain and grief, he tells lies. And he speaks maliciously. And he speaks harshly. And gossips, but in pain and grief. And he lives with a covetous mind, with greed, and he has a mind of ill will. Can you understand? And he is holding the wrong view in pain and grief. We can understand this one, that there may be a person that he doesn't like to hold that view, but he cannot change. Yes, and there may be a number of external barriers, so he can't escape. So Buddha explains, but the result on the dissolution of the body, after its death, Buddha explains here the word So Kayasa Beheda Parammarana, on the dissolution of his body, Apayam Duggati Minipatan Miriam Mukupajati. He will go reborn in the hell. Nothing to do. Then Buddha explains, this is the meaning of the way of practicing the things that pleasant now and ripens in the future as pain. This is the thing. So think about the knowledge of Buddha. And there are no alternatives. Buddha explains straightly, he will be reborn in the hell. Then Buddha explains the second one. What is the second one? Yes, Pachuppanna Sukham. That means the way of undertaking things that is pleasant now and ayati dukkha vipasa. Yes, in the future it ripens as pain. Buddha explains here, there is a person and so what does he do? Summoning pleasure and joy, he chased living beings. Can you understand this one? Because they are going fishing and hunting and with their friends and liquor and they, yes, no, isn't it? Yes, with their dogs and they, yes, and with luxury things and they, it doesn't matter. They think, oh, this is the thing. Yes, this is the fun. So there is someone in pleasure and joy kills living beings. And he has that pleasure and joy of doing that. And he steals others' properties with joy. Do you know that the robbers, they steal? Yes, the thieves, they steal others' things and they enjoy from that money, isn't it? Yes, they eat from the 5-star in this hotel. Yes, yes, yes. So you can remember the number of examples. So in this way, and Buddha explains, with pleasure and joy, he engaged in sexual misconduct. It doesn't matter, and he is very popular in the society. It doesn't matter, but in his depth of his life, there is an arranging of karma to be ripened in the future. Always from the bodily action, verbal action and mental action. He doesn't know about this. Why? He is an ignorant person. Can you remember the very beginning Buddha mentioned? So then, and with pleasure and joy, he tell lies. He tell lies, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't think about it. He tells whatever he thinks. Okay? Then he speaks malicious speech, and he tries to always he enjoys of dividing people, with the destruction of the unity of the friends. He enjoys and he tells to others proudly, oh, I did so, and I cheated them. Yeah, isn't it? Yes. So then he has then mental in mind, they have greedy mind, covetousness, and because of this he experiences a pleasure and joy. And how do you know about the next one? He has a mind of ill will with pleasure and joy. How is it? And the thing is, he does something to others with the corrupted mind, and after that he enjoys, oh, I did so. No, the things is so. No, it's very good. He experienced the pleasure and joy of that ill will. Can you remember? And let's suppose in the when he works about regarding promotion, with the corrupted mind, then he will do some wrong thing not to give that promotion with the corrupted mind, with mind of ill will. Then he couldn't get that promotion, the other person. Then he will be very happy. Oh, I did well. Yes, that's why I was saying. Yes, then then yes, then he thinks, oh, I did well. My duty is okay. So what was there in the root, as a wholesome fruit? Ill will. So he experienced the pleasure and joy of that ill will. Then the wrong will. With pleasure and joy, he holds the wrong will. Let's suppose like this. Now there is a person, he is holding a wrong view, okay? Then his friends ask him to, not to hold that wrong view, okay? So then he thinks, if I drop or if I avoid from this wrong view, then I will have to follow the precepts and I will have to do these good things and I will have to avoid from these evil things. Then he compares. So let it be so. This wrong view is good for me. Why? He wants the pleasure and joy. That's the thing. Yes, that's the thing. Okay, then it's like this. Now let's suppose our grandfathers and something like that. Then if we advise to our grandfathers, okay, please grandfather, don't take alcohol and don't drink. Okay, then we say so. We say to that grandfather, the reason is he doesn't believe this word and the other word. Okay, that's why he doesn't follow precepts. Okay, so when we say to that grandfather, he compare. Those are the things after this life, So yes, I don't know, and I want to drink. So this wrong view is good. So I don't want to believe the other words. So I want to drink. So that's the pleasure and joy he wants. Only that thing. So I gave you some examples so you can think about these things, isn't it? Then yes, you can understand. This suppose very, very interesting, the Buddha's teaching, very clear. And is it difficult to understand? No, very simple. So then Buddha explains next one. The third one, no? We discussed two, no? Then the third one, here there is someone and in pain and grief, the way of undertaking things that is painful now and ripens in the future as pleasure. Okay, in the present it is painful. Okay. Oh, I couldn't mention the result of that case, the earlier one. Okay, yes. Now he experienced the pleasure and joy in this present, but Buddha explains after the dissolution of body, after his death, he reappears in the state of deprivation in an unhappy destination, even in the hell. So let's suppose as he asked that there is a poor person, okay? So he thinks, I can earn a lot of money if I do this way. I can experience the pleasure and joy, so I can be a rich person. So I have to steal, and I have to lie, and I have to cheat others. These are the things. Though he is poor in this life, if he does so, it doesn't matter in the present. Anyway, he will be reborn in the hell. That's the thing. Okay? So that's why Buddha explains, there is the wheel-turning monarch in the world, okay, very, very rarely appears. Wheel-turning monarch, Chakravarti Raja. But he has the 5 factors in his life, that means the factors of the extreme entrance. He has an unshakable confidence on Buddha, an unshakable confidence on Dhamma, unshakable confidence on Sangha. Can you remember those factors we discussed that day? Yes. The factors of extreme entrance, unshakable confidence on triple gems, and the 5 precepts. Those are the 4 factors. So that wheel-turning monarch, he hasn't those 4 factors. Then Buddha explains, because of his achieving merit in this life, he will be reborn in the heavenly world. But at the end of his lifespan there, he will be reborn again as a dog. Yes, wheel-turning monarch, king, as a dog. It can be. There is a possibility. He hasn't the extreme factors of the extreme entrance. He is not a noble disciple. Okay? No, he is very rich in the present. Then Buddha explains there is a very, very poor noble disciple in the corner of a village. He hasn't enough food. He hasn't enough dresses to wear. Yes, like a beggar. Buddha explains there. But he has that 4 factors. Okay? Of the factors of extreme entrance, and he follows the precepts. Though he is poor, he thinks, no, it is not suitable to kill beings and to steal. And I can earn a lot of money with doing these things, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to do things. Buddha explains, though he is poor in this life, he will be reborn in the heavenly world as a Deva, and never he will come down. He will understand 4 noble truths there and escape from suffering. Now is it okay? Is it clear to your father? Is it clear? Yes. So, though he is poor, don't try to experience the pleasure and joy in the wrong way. Okay? So then Buddha explains the way of undertaking things that is painful now and ripens in the future as pleasure. Buddha explains someone in pain and grief abstains from killing beings. Pain and grief. What is the meaning here? Okay. In pain and grief he abstains from stealing. In pain and grief, he abstains from engaging in sexual misconduct. That means he can steal, then he can be a rich person, but he doesn't do so, so he has to live a painful life as a poor. That's why in pain and grief, he abstains from stealing. Okay? If he tells lies to his boss, he can get a promotion. But he doesn't do so. In pain and grief, he abstains from telling lies and speaking malicious speech. And if he speaks the words to divide the unity of others, he can be a rich person and he can experience the benefits. But he doesn't do so. Can you understand? It's a very, very important thing. And so in this way he doesn't, in pain and grief he abstains. He doesn't have a mind of ill will and he holds the right view. Okay, it doesn't matter. If because of the holding the right view he can't get some benefits, but it doesn't matter. He holds that right view. Yes, he has the peace of mind, inner peace. That's the most important thing. So, and he try to be content with the things he has. Okay, he try to live happily with others, with friendly. Though it is enough for me. It is enough for me. And in this Buddha explains Because of this, on the dissolution of the body after death, he will be reborn definitely in the heavenly world. Though he is a poor person in this world, he is a king of the other world. That's why Buddha explains, than being a king, a ruler to the whole world, Sotapatti Phalang Varang. It is worthy to be a extreme entrance. So then Buddha explains the way of undertaking things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pleasure. This is the most important thing. Then Buddha explains here, someone in pleasure and joy abstain from killing beings. Can you understand? He experienced the happiness. Oh, I am a virtuous person and I am a noble disciple of Buddha. I am very happy. In this way he thinks. And in pleasure and joy he abstains from stealing and sexual misconduct and telling lies and malicious speech and gossip and the mind of ill will and covetousness, and he holds the right view with pleasure and joy. Okay? There are a number of people like this, isn't it? In Sri Lanka also, after the establishing the Mahamevnawa monastery by our Lok Swami Nose, there are a number of rich people. They have get together and they donate their whole properties to the monasteries, and they do a lot of things, and they are very happy about those things. They follow the precepts and they meditate in the houses with their family, the members of their children. Very, very nice. Their stories. Luksan reminds those things in some occasions. So, in this way, Buddha explains, after the dissolution of his body after death, he will be reborn in the heavenly world. This is called the way of undertaking things. That is pleasure and now. Pleasant now and ripens in the future as pleasure. So what is the way you like to select? Last one. That's the most important thing. That intention or aspiration should be cultivated in our mind. Oh, I should follow the last one. Very important. That's very good. So then Buddha explains at the end of this sutta, it's like this. Buddha explains, suppose there were a bitter gourd, okay, or let's suppose some drink mixed with poison. Mixed with poison. This is simile, okay? Then a man came and he wanted to live and not to die, and who wanted pleasure and he wanted to be happy. Like us, no? Yes, like ourselves. So then that there is another community of people, and they told that person, oh, good man, come here, this bitter gourd is mixed with poison, drink it. And if you want, as you drink from it, it is very, very colorful, and it has a good smell and taste, and its color and smell and taste, but will not agree with you. It's bitter gourd, no? So it hasn't a good color and good smell and good taste. So it is not taste. And so after drinking from it, either you will come to a deadly suffering or you will die. So then, what does that man do? Yes, he drinks that one. Okay? He drinks that one. Buddha explains similar to that, I say, is the way of undertaking things that is painful now and ripens in the future as pain. This is the simile. Can you understand? Yes. When he drinks it, it is not tasty, and there isn't a good smell, isn't it? There isn't good taste, but he drinks, because after drinking that drink, he will die. Then Buddha explains, there is suppose there were a bronze cup of beverage, that means a good drink, a sweet drink with good color and smell and taste, but it is mixed with poison. Okay? So the color is okay, smell is okay, and taste is okay. So then there comes a person and he wants to live and not to die, and he wants to pleasure and he doesn't like to experience the suffering. So the others, they say, oh good man, come here and drink this, and when you drink this and you experience its color and smell and taste, he'll agree with you, and but after drinking with it, you will die. So what does he do? Because of its color and smell and taste, at once he drinks that one. So Buddha explains, after that he will die. So Buddha explains, similar to that, I say that way of the things, way of practicing the things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pain. Can you understand? So he just think to experience the happiness in this moment, momentary happiness, to get that one. Yes, he thinks only that one. So he do the unwholesome activities, but in the future he will have to suffer. Then Buddha explains, there, this very fermented urine, Puti Mutta Besajya. Have you heard it? No. It's a medicine. That means to the monks, Buddha introduced that medicine, that if you have any kinds of illness, you can take this medicine. It is made with the urine of the cows and with the aralu, aralu? Yes, bitter tasting food. It's very, very hard to touch even in the tongue. Okay, but in our monastery, there that medicine, but here I don't know. Sorry? Urine of the cows. Okay? No, it's very, very important medicine. Okay? The doctor is our great teacher, no? So to the Buddha explains, if you use this medicine, it will help to eradicate the more painful suffering in a number of illnesses. Okay, Buddha explains. So it's very important. Without taking the other medicine, you can use that one. That's why Buddha explained that one. Yes. Okay, there is a method to prepare that one. Okay, special method. In Vinayapitaka, that's that method. Okay. Yes, tighten up, and it's okay. No. Whenever anyone, if he likes, he can get that one. Okay? Not very little. But it's very, very, what you call, powerful medicine. Okay? Yes. So then Buddha explains, suppose there were a permanent urine mixed with various medicines, and man comes sick with, okay? And they told, okay, there is this medicine of prepared with urine and mixed with various medicines, the bitter tasted things. So, if you want, you can drink this one, but when you are drinking, the color and smell and the taste will not agree with you. And there is a good taste and smell and color. But after drinking it, then you will be well. Let's think about this simile. Buddha explains this way. Then he drinks that one. Okay? Very, very hard to drink. but anyway he drinks. So similar to that, I say is the way of undertaking things that is painful now. It's painful when he is drinking, but and ripens in the future as pleasure. He will be well after he drinks that one. Then the last one, Buddha explains, they are curd, honey and ghee and mixed with a number of sweet things. Okay? Then man come with thirsty and he wants to eat and drink. So the others say to that person, oh good man, come here and there's very very sweet food here, drink here, and you can drink that one. And when you drink it, its color and smell and taste will agree with you. Very very nice color and very tasty and smell. So after drinking this one, then you will experience the pleasure and joy. So you can drink it. So that person, he drinks that one. Buddha explains, this is the way of undertaking things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pleasure. So you selected that one, no? Yes. So he can experience the sweet taste from that. So Buddha explains, this is as the conclusion, just as in autumn, in the last month of the rainy season, okay, when the sky is clear and cloudless, the sun arises above the earth, okay, dispelling all darkness from space, it's shining and beaming and radiant. So too, the way of undertaking things that is pleasant now and ripens in the future as pleasure, dispels with its shining and beaming and radiance any other doctrines whatsoever of ordinary recluses and Brahmins. Can you understand? If any other, all the teachings of any other recluses and any other religious person, if someone follows this last one, this last way of undertaking things, then similarly is like the sun, which shines with in the cloudless sky. Can you understand? So everywhere he will be a special person because of this way of following. Can you understand? So Buddha explains in this way that sutta, Mahadhamma Samadhana. Can you remember that sutta, the whole sutta? Yes, very very important, isn't it? Yes, the greater discourse of the ways of the undertaking things or practicing things. So then the bhikkhus were satisfied and delighted in the blessed one's words. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So quite late today, but are you happy with that discourse? Yes, there are much many times. Middle length, no, middle length, not long length, but middle length. But if you take long length, there are something. So, if you have any questions on that matter, you can ask. So, there are a number of things to think, no? Things. So, most important thing is to listen to these teachings of Buddha. So then we will, now at the end of those each ways I mentioned the result as Buddha mentioned, no? Yes, with the first and second practicing, one will be reborn in the hell, and with the third and fourth ways of undertaking things, those persons will be reborn in heaven. So you can use your wise consideration regarding your own life. Oh, what's the way to follow this one? Though I am poor, so what is the thing now I must do here? Do I think about the momentary satisfaction or the happiness? or as a wise person or noble disciple, how should I get great assurance to my life as a noble disciple, as a follower of teacher? Isn't it? So you can think. Yes. Yes. Yes, it's a war creating. All these things are because of our great teachers. So let's think about the compassion of our great teacher. Okay. So actually, so is there any further more questions? No. Actually today this course is something simple, no, to understand. It's not difficult. So you remind those things, and so I would like to bless you, and may you be well and happy, and try to follow the fourth one. Okay, fourth way again and again, and with the pleasure and joy as a great noble disciple of the great teacher, may you have the opportunity to understand the Four Noble Truths in this very life and to escape from suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And I like to share or dedicate with our merits with the others. Do you like to share? Okay, so try to practice chanting that one also, okay? Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga maitika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkantu sasanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga maitika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkantu desanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga maitika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkantu mam paranti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So I bless you, and may you be well and happy. Abhivadana Sirisa Nityam Vaddapachayino Sattaro Dhamma Vaddanti Ayuvanno Sukham Balam Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Nivacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samicchato Sukhiyantu. Sadhu sadhu anumodami. Sadhu anumodite. Kamami kantam. Sopati. Sukhiyantu. Okay, do you like to, okay, it is enough now, the worshiping. Do you like to worship again and again? Do you like to worship again and again? Okay. So actually, I think you try to practice meditation at home, no? We learn a lot of things to do meditation. So, okay, good. Actually, in other days we can do only the meditation. If you have the some sufficient knowledge about the Dhamma, then in the future we will be able to do the whole hours of meditation. Do you like to do so? Yes. First of all, the most important thing is the knowing of the Dhamma, the ways. That otherwise we think in wrong ways. Let's do something. But anyway, on the way you can practice the in and out breathing meditation and loving kindness meditation, all those impermanent meditation. I have taught you, no?